With this topic, there's a lot to unpack, but my main question is why would they put this in a children's cartoon?
She just called you a racist, Penny.
Black people can't be racist. If it wasn't for Tony.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another Proud Family analysis. And this is not going to be an episode analysis. It's not going to be a character analysis. This is going to be a scene analysis. And this is something that's crazy because of all the different Proud Family videos and clips that went viral. A lot of people seem to overlook this one. The most ironic thing being that in this same episode, this also happened.
The descendants of slaves continue to build this. Slaves built this country. Oh, segregation, redlining, public schools, feeding private prisons, where we become slaves again.
I'm pretty sure most of us that's watching this have seen that clip. It went viral all over Twitter, social media in general, and you could tell people that don't even watch the show, people that didn't even know the Proud Family existed or that it had an original series 20 years ago, was doing videos about it, saying it's woke, it's the agenda, Disney, what happened, this is not for my kids, I'm not letting my kids watch this. That clip with the slaves built this country went so viral that people didn't realize 10 minutes earlier in that episode, this was also in it.
Black people can't be racist. I agree. Racism is prejudice plus power.
Sometimes.
Always?
Not always, no. Sometimes. That means sometimes.
And before we get deeper to discussing what they had Penny say, a quick synopsis of the whole episode for more context is that they were on the debate team. Zoe had lost her voice, so they needed somebody else to fill in for them, right? So Penny is going around trying to target or trying to look for different people to help them on the debate team that they think would be sufficient. She goes to the Chang triplets. We get to see their new updated design. Each of them have their own personality, their own look, and their own thing going on.
Not.
Come on, Billy, you gotta do it.
Debate team is not my thing, Penny.
Julie?
Got a soccer chairman and 3 papers to do.
Debbie?
Now, when she goes to the last sister and she shoots her down, she also tells her about you could take your model minority myth somewhere else, to which Penny is confused. Now, mind you, this is the writing team doing all of this, and they place stuff, they have certain characters say stuff for a reason. And Penny is like, model minority myth, what's that? Let's look at what model minority myth is.
You can take your model minority myth somewhere else.
When you look it up, it says the model minority myth is a psychological phenomenon that refers to the stereotype of certain minority groups, particularly Asian Americans, as successful and well-adjusted, demonstrating that there's little or no need for social or economic assistance like it would be for other minority groups. This model minority myth has been widely criticized as oversimplistic and misleading, and for being used to justify discriminatory policies and neglect of marginalized communities. Remember, this is a children's cartoon on Disney Plus. Y'all writing in these sophisticated jokes like, y'all think the average 8-year-old is gonna know what that means? Like, sometimes kids just want to watch stuff just to be entertained and, whatever. I get some things gotta have, educational things with it, but it's like an 8-year-old little girl watching that, what do you think she's gonna get out of that?
Model minority myth? What does that mean?
Then what happens after that? Zoe, the character that they were all against, their white best friend that they ostracized because the light-skinned guy liked her because she was white.
Oh, the boy only dates white girls.
She's the one that says, oh, I think she's calling you a racist. And then Penny's like, racist?
Black people can't be racist.
Then to justify it, you have Maya, the woke one, coming in by saying,
Racism is prejudice plus power, but we can't be jerks.
I gotta admit, like, when I was first watching the season and I seen that part, I kind of like, you kind of like how to twist your head, like, really?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Is it me, or that's the type of joke that you would see in like Family Guy or something like that? For this to be the Proud Family, we know there's a black cartoon, there's a lot of black writers. Now, if you look into it, you see that there's a lot of, Latino writers on the writing team. Why would you think that was okay to put in the children's cartoon where the average watcher is about maybe 8, 9, 10? Of course, there's adults like me in their 20s, even people older that watch the show, but The show is targeted towards children. You know, why would you think that was okay to put in a children's cartoon?
Why?
For a show like The Proud Family, which was known to be so progressive and so out there with their messages, that does more damage than it does good. Because all it's going to make people do is conceptualize that whole entire point they were trying to make, like, black people can't be racist. Then what is that going to do? Make people think about all the different times black people were racist. And now I feel like this clip is kind of going viral now. A lot of people are looking back on it like, oh wait, they put this in the episode too? Words have meaning. And I get it, of course. Being a black man in his 20s in America, in New York City, one of the most diverse cities, places in the world, right? I've seen a lot of different things. I have my own experiences. I've been in history classes where I've learned about this, learned about that. I'm pretty sure most of us have learned about different situations, the history of this country, the history that black people have in this country, the history black people have in the world. And we know about slavery, civil rights movement, all the different oppressions and things placed upon black people that were against us, discriminatory just because we were black. You know, that whole system of racism against black people. But my thing is, for a Disney Channel cartoon in 2023, which is when this came out, it does seem like the black writers, a part of this, have their own agenda to push certain messages out. Like, you know, you see all what black people have to go through, the history of black people and racism in this country. Black people can't be racist. Look what we've been through over the last hundreds of years. And it's like, I get it, I understand. Even with the Black Lives Matter, the police brutality, something can happen the next 2 minutes. It might be all over the news. But that doesn't excuse racism as a whole.
Oh my God.
Anybody can be racist. And another theory that people had was that this was the writers from the original from 20 years ago trying to make what they did okay. You know, the stereotypical monotone Asian characters that you couldn't even tell apart, but you did know that they were smart. You didn't know that they were Asian.
And you're definitely not smarter than the Chang triplets.
You did know that their father put pressure on them to be the very best, which is something that's a part of the stereotype of a lot of Asian kids.
Smile. Okay, kids, there's no pressure.
Down like that, okay?
Because like I said in my other videos, it's 2024 now. I feel like a lot of people are being more transparent. A lot of people are just being blunt with what they got to say. And my thing is, it seems like they were trying to save face or trying to right a wrong by saying, oh, you know, we made y'all look like stereotypes 20 years ago, but you know, black people, the black writers, we can't be racist. And then here comes Maya with that.
Racism is prejudice plus power.
Like, we get the history of what black people had to face in this country, what black people still have to face in this country when it comes to race relations. But now, in a children's cartoon on Disney Plus, y'all are putting this out there like y'all have your own agenda when it comes to getting a message across about race relations. And it's kind of like, why?
Could somebody please make it make sense?
Just to put it out there that a whole entire race of people can't be racist or can be discriminatory against other people just because, you know, it's a black cartoon and everybody got to agree, like, oh, if you don't agree, then it makes you feel a certain way or makes you look a certain way. And this kind of brings me back to the episode with the colorism aspect, with they was all mad at Zoe because the light-skinned guy liked her and he only liked white girls, which is a rumor.
The way I hear, Noah's only into white girls.
And the episode had this attitude that we were all supposed to be mad at Zoe, like them, because, oh, who does white girl think she is? Da 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 da.
You're all just jealous that Noah asked me out.
See, Zoe, you just don't get it. I'm out.
Like, oh, he only likes you because you're white. You think you're better than us because you're white. That was the attitude they were putting out. And we all know about, or most of us know about, the themes of white supremacy, the history of white supremacy, the civil rights movement, slavery. We all should know about that, or at least aspects of it. But Again, for all of this emphasis on race to be put in a children's cartoon where the average 9-year-old is looking at it for entertainment, it's not making sense.
You think you know, you have no idea.
And I want to know what y'all think about this. What do you think about these type of themes and remarks, statements being put in Disney cartoons now? The Proud Family, which was known to be such a progressive show and such a forward-thinking show, they have a lot of statements that's questionable.
Not on my watch.
What are y'all trying to do with this? What are y'all trying to get out of this? What messages are y'all trying to get across to the average viewer? Another thing is, notice how they had that scene between Penny and one of the Chang sisters, an Asian and a black character. Because there's a history of racism between Asian and black people too. Not only with the depiction of them in the original as, you know, the smart Asians, but just in general, the history of this country where it's, oh, black people can't be racist. And we get it. I get it. We've seen the stories. There's this idea that some Asian people look down on black people. But for example, in New York City, there's a lot of nail salons and hair supply stores and American Chinese restaurants that they put in urban neighborhoods with a lot of black people to make money off black people, but a lot of people think they don't like them or whatever the case. And it's that whole thing of when you go into certain stores ran by Asian families, there's that aura of
Hurry up and buy!
But then on the other side, there's the thing where a lot of black people look at Asian people in a certain way where they like to mock their accent and mock their names. And let's not forget the wide case of xenophobia going on when COVID was happening, and there was all these articles about, oh, it's coming from China. And every time I seen clips on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you can even look at them on YouTube, of random Asian people getting attacked by mostly black people because they thought that, oh, y'all bringing COVID over here. Oh, random Asian lady trying to get on the train and a black man is attacking her just because, oh, y'all bringing COVID over here.
Oh my God.
You're gonna tell me that that's not discriminatory against a certain race? Like I said, this is not to be a video to show black people can be racist. But with a statement like that on a Disney cartoon, all that's gonna make people do is refute it and be like, And then now you have all these different things coming out like, oh, black people do this, black people do that. And it's gonna make people think of examples where black people were discriminatory or show hatred towards other races, even other black people. So when you think about it now, there's really nothing effective, really nothing educational, really nothing beneficial to come out and making statements like that. And of all things, we get that the Proud Family likes to push the needle and they like to, you know, poke different things and wake up certain ideals. But having Penny, the main protagonist, that's a black character, say black people can't be racist, and then you have Maya coming in like da 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 da. But you know, we can't be jerks though. You know, we can't be assholes though. Like y'all justifying black people being discriminatory by just, you know, some of us can be like jerks by nature, but we don't mean no harm by it. That was the attitude they had with Maya. It's like, no. You think about it now. You know, a little black boy sees that. Some kids are impressionable. They take certain things and retain it. He sees an Asian boy in his class, or, you know, a Mexican boy in his class, whatever the case may be, and he feels a certain way about them just because of their race. And that episode I watched,
Black people can't be racist.
I can't be racist. Or, you know, kids are not stupid. Kids have some type of concept of what racism is and what this is. Especially nowadays with social media and everything. They take certain things and internalize it. And it's like, what point were y'all trying to get across with that? Do y'all want little black kids to feel that way? To think that way? I really want to know y'all thoughts down below, because that seemed to be a clip that a lot of people overlooked, or a lot of people didn't even watch, because that slaves built this country clip went so viral. People didn't even watch the whole episode to see that. But now I see that it's starting to go viral, and I'm like, you know what? I never talked about this either. Where do y'all stand with that statement that Penny made? Why do you think they had Penny say that? And, you know, they tried to have Maya justify it. What do y'all think about that? I know they're going to have a lot to say about that. The Proud Family reboot, they got a lot of explaining to do. They got a lot of making up to do. There's no season 3 teaser or trailer as of yet. But I really want to know what changes they're going to make for the next season coming up. Because there's a lot they need to fix. And with that being said, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.
This country was built on slavery, which means slaves built this country.